climb onto those and reach up all the way to the far end of the closet top. As the passport's rough surface finally grazes my fingertips, the front door squeaks open and slams shut. Uh-oh. I snatch the passport, then do the whole thing in reverse. Books, desk, chair, floor. Noisy footsteps are racing down the hallway, but I can't make out whom they belong to. I throw the suitcase on the floor. The bedroom door swings open just as I nudge it under the bed with my foot. Mia, you will not believe what happened at school, Becca yells as she barges into the room like a gust of wind. Becca is my younger foster sister and my roommate. She also happens to be my favorite person in the world. I let out a gasp. Becca, you scared the life out of me. Becca flings her backpack to the floor, shuts the door with her heel, and rushes up to me. I skipped remedial class. I just had to tell you about this. Remember that girl who called me a moron in 3rd grade? Well, today she bombed an English test, and... She stops short, staring aghast at the passport in my hand, then looks up at me with her small, pleading eyes. You're leaving? We talked about this, I say in the most soothing tone I can muster. Remember? She shakes her head, and her misty eyes tell me that no, she doesn't remember. Becca was born with a cognitive impairment, and some things simply escape her. I guess that's why we share this room in a family that isn't ours. Her folks decided to get rid of her when her problem became too noticeable. She was 5. I take her soft, freckled face into my hands and give her a smile. That always calms her down. I'm going to photograph the northern lights, remember? I whisper. And it's our secret. You can't tell anybody, ever. I cross my fingers, raise them to my lips, and nod. Our secret sign, the one I learned at St. Jerome's, the group home I grew up in. Becca grins, looking so excited it hurts me to lie to her. But I learned years ago that some things are safe only if they remain unspoken. Besides, how can I tell her that I'm never coming back? I guess it doesn't matter much since Becca's attention is already focused on the street out front. Look, she says, peering through the window. It's the guy from the football team, the one who killed Noah. Her words send a sob through me that I just managed to stifle. Becca, don't say that. I frown. It's not so much Noah's death that saddens me as the suffering of those who will never forget him. It was an accident. I stand next to her and see the boy leaving the house across the street. I can't even imagine what he must feel like. Actually, I can, because I've thought about it countless times since it happened. How is he going to live with it? His name is Kyle, and although he was Noah's best friend, we never met. My foster parents never let me leave the house, unless it's for a doctor's visit, Sunday church, my photography class, or the occasional morning walk. Josh, the guy who lives in that house, was also in the car that day. They say he's in pretty bad shape. I watch Kyle just standing there, in our narrow street, motionless, gazing off into space, as if time had stopped for him alone, and try to imagine what he and Josh have been talking about, what might have happened between them. What's he doing? Becca asks, tugging at my sleeve. Why is he standing there? It's hard to be sure from this distance, but it looks to me like he's on the verge of tears. He looks off to the right, toward town, then to the left, toward the woods. Slowly, as if in a daze, he turns left and begins to walk, limping slightly, his eyes looking straight ahead, his backpack slung over his shoulder. Where's he going, Mia? What's he up to? What's his deal? Before I can come up with a convincing reply to her questions, a bus pulls into our street, drives past our house, and stops right in front of Kyle. We lose sight of him for an instant, and when the bus pulls out again, the sidewalk is empty. Becca gives me a puzzled look. Did he just get on the bus? Mia, why is he taking that line? It only goes to the waterfall. Nobody goes there at this hour. She's right. Unless he's about to do what I hope he's not about to do. I don't tell Becca, of course, but something inside me begins to tremble. He looked desperate. No, he looked more than desperate. I've seen that vacant look before, in the ER, along with bandaged wrists or pumped stomachs. I have to make sure he's okay. I have to do it for Noah. He wouldn't have wanted anything to happen to his friend. I get closer to the window and watch the bus drive off. Mia, want to play Scrabble? Becca has obviously moved on, but I haven't. I'm focused on how to get out of this house without being seen. The front door is not an option, so I open the window and climb onto the ledge.